In the peaceful town of Fort Washington, life seemed idyllic. Born to William and Madeline Drake, Bobby's childhood was like any other. But fate had something extraordinary in store for him. His mutant abilities manifested early, a secret he struggled to understand. But it wasn't until a confrontation with a school bully that Bobby's powers were thrust into the spotlight. In a moment of desperation, Bobby unleashed his abilities to protect the ones he loved. But the town of Fort Washington was not ready to accept Bobby for who he was. The local sheriff noticed that things were getting out of hand and took Bobby into custody for his own protection. Ignorance gave birth to hatred, and Bobby found himself haunted by those he once called neighbors. Professor Charles Xavier heard of Bobby's plight and recognized the potential within him. Sending one of his most trusted allies, Cyclops, on a mission to recruit Bobby into their ranks, hoped to offer him sanctuary and guidance. Yet, it was through Professor X's gentle telepathic intervention that Bobby began to see a glimmer of hope amidst the chaos. In an act of compassion, Xavier chose to ease the burden on Bobby's shoulders, erasing the painful memories from the minds of the townsfolk, including Bobby's own parents. Enrolling as a student, he became the second member to join the ranks of the X-Men, a team of mutants dedicated to safeguarding a world that often rejected them. Instead of the crystalline transparency he would later achieve, Bobby's form often resembled that of a snowman, his icy exterior more opaque than translucent. Through trial and error, he discovered a new technique, learning to encase himself in a sleek layer of ice, a far cry from the clunky snowman-like appearance of his past. At the core of Iceman's abilities lies a remarkable power known as cold generation. As a mutant, Bobby possesses the unique gift to manipulate both his external and internal body temperature, unleashing waves of intense coldness from his very being. With a mere thought, he can plunge his surroundings into sub-zero temperatures, sculpting ice and frost with a precision that defies comprehension. Telepaths like Siluk have unlocked hidden depths within Bobby's sight, awakening dormant potentials and unleashing his abilities to their fullest extent. Under optimal conditions, he can maintain his icy form and manipulate frost for extended periods, typically up to about 5 hours before mental fatigue sets in. Hindered by a lack of creativity and imagination, he struggles to unlock the full potential of his powers, a reluctance born from the fear of losing control. Classified as an Omega-level mutant, his icy prowess knows virtually no bounds, transcending the limitations of mortal understanding. Among the many skills he has honed, one of the most remarkable is his ability to create ice golems. These ice golems, though somewhat autonomous, remain bound to Bobby's will, following his directives with a loyalty that borders on obedience. When Emma Frost fell prey to the relentless onslaught of Sentinels, her consciousness adrift in a sea of unconsciousness. And in that fleeting moment of vulnerability, Emma's mind intertwined with Bobby's, forging a connection that transcended the boundaries of mere telepathy. With Em at the helm, Bobby's powers reached unprecedented heights, his control over moisture extending to every level of existence. No longer bound by the limitations of his physical form, Iceman traversed the realms of liquid and gas with ease, a master of the elements in ways he had never dreamed possible.